Welcome to the Chaos Commanders podcast. I'm Annie, aka Commander A, military wife, mom of two, and seasoned in navigating deployments, juggling schedules, and life's unpredictable missions.
And I'm Katelynn, aka Commander K, solo mom to a busy, neurodivergent teenage boy, business owner, and skilled chaos wrangler.
We're here for the moms who do it all, the sideline CEOs, the late night warriors, the women leading in their homes, businesses, and beyond.
If you've ever felt like you're running a tactical operation just to get through the day, this is the place for you. We're bringing raw, unfiltered conversations, honest insights, and tangible strategies to help you command the chaos like the Wonder Woman you are.
So grab your coffee, wine, or whatever keeps you going, because we're diving in. Welcome back to the Chaos Commanders. Today we are going to be celebrating the end of an era. But first, we got to tell you what the song is.
What's our song, Annie?
The song is The Final Countdown.
Ooh, okay. Dun dun dun.
Da da da.
It's exciting. Okay, so this week on What's My, we're doing a book. What book are you reading?
Yes, well, it's not what I'm currently reading. Sorry. I can't share that yet because I don't know you guys well enough. But one that I have read that's really, really great that I highly recommend is called Hidden Pictures, and it's by Jason Rekulak. I probably slaughtered that last name.
That's okay. And Lindsay actually recommended that book to me, so I am excited to read it.
She recommended it to me too. It's really good. You should definitely read it.
That's awesome. Okay, so I will put that on my TBR list and get to it pretty soon. I tend to have several books going at once, which is not a great idea.
I don't know how you do that. I know a handful of people that do that. It's wild to me.
It is difficult sometimes. But right now I am reading a book that I started once and never finished. Not because it wasn't good, but I just got distracted. Go figure. And it is called I Could Do Anything If I Only Knew What It Was by Barbara Sher.
Ooh.
So it's kind of about figuring out your passions and things you want to do. So
sure.
Yeah, if it's any good, I'll
very self-helpy.
Let you borrow it. Yes. I know it's not your cup of tea, but you might enjoy it.
I might enjoy it.
Yeah.
So what's the Katelynn currently?
Mine is super quick this week. We had a great track meet last weekend. Caden decided to compete in the kind of sprinting mid-distance range. He's wanting to shorten things up, switch over from cross-country and longer distances. And so he ran the 400 meter and did pretty well in that, and then ran the 200 meter and got a new PR. So
that's wonderful.
Yeah, and it was so hot, and I was in the sun for like 8 whole minutes and got a sunburn.
Ooh.
So, fun times. So, what about you? What's the Annie update?
Well, the Annie update is this podcast episode.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! We are celebrating Geo-baching no more.
Yep.
The end of a military era. Today we are 17 days until Andre comes home for good.
Yay!
And we are 169 days until he officially retires.
Oh my gosh.
And with that being said, we actually have him here as a special guest today.
Yay! Welcome, Andre.
Thank you.
Andre has served for 30 years total, and 20 of them have been active. I came into the picture a little over halfway through his military career. So today is all about our military life together.
Yeah, and this whole transition. It's going to be interesting. Okay, so we have broken this episode up into 5 different segments, and the first one, we are going to talk about just kind of your raw emotions and reflections. And so how are each of you feeling right now with only 17 days to go until Andre comes home?
You want to take that?
No, you can go ahead.
I am ecstatic. It feels a little surreal. We have a long stint coming up here and then a short stint, and then he's home for good. And that, I don't know, like some days I'm like, oh, okay, great, like here we go, it's great. And then other days I'm like, holy cow, we did it, we actually got here.
Yeah, huge accomplishment.
Huge.
Very cool. All right, Andre, how are you feeling?
Relieved.
Relieved?
It's just For me, and after having been in the Army 30 years, just it doesn't. You learn not to get too high or too low with things, and so I'm just ready for the next phase of life.
Yeah, I mean, you're pretty even-keeled in most situations.
And the emotions in the family.
Yes. So you guys balance each other out very well, which is nice. Okay, so what do you think the biggest emotions will be on that homecoming day?
Ooh. I don't know, because we have a huge trip planned. Like, literally the next day, we head to Wisconsin to take our son to camp, and then we have a huge hiking trip that the two of us are doing together. So he's gonna walk in the door and drop all of his things and pack a bag, and we're gonna be getting ready to leave. So
yeah,
I think it's just gonna be busy, which honestly, that's kind of our life, right?
Right.
Like, our life is just chaos anyways.
Yeah. So there will not be a whole lot of time probably in that moment to process, but I'm sure it'll come later.
It will come later, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. So looking back, Andre, at your military journey, what are you the most proud of?
What am I most proud of? I would have to say getting my drill sergeant credentials.
Okay.
That was, believe it or not, 25 years ago.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, I was a young E5, quote-unquote young E5 at the time. For active duty, they have to be either a staff sergeant or a sergeant first class to become a drill sergeant.
Okay.
Or for the Army Reserve, based on the nature of the beast, that we are allowed to be drill sergeants at E5.
Okay.
So I was one of two
Wow.
for my class.
That is
One
impressive.
of only four for Army Reserve at that point.
Okay.
Can you imagine him as a drill sergeant?
No. No, I cannot. I mean, the few times where I've seen him, like, get onto the kids, just
Right.
like, you need to do blah, blah, blah. Like, he still is, like, kind of gentle about it.
Right. What is it that you say that you do as a drill sergeant?
No, you just switch it on and off.
Right?
Okay.
You command respect. You don't demand it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love that. And I think that is, whenever people are overbearing and demanding about things like that, it does come across a different way.
Right.
And so, yeah, I think you probably have just like the natural personality to do that kind of a job well and have people respect you. So very, very cool. That's definitely something to be proud of. Either one of you can answer this. What will you not miss about Army life? And maybe you both want to chime in.
There are so many things that I will not miss. I will not miss the calls of like, oh, I have to go do this.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like every time we plan something, there's a phone call that comes in and he's like, hey. And he gets this tone.
Yeah.
And I do not like that tone because I know it's really bad.
Yeah. Don't you take that tone with her, Andre.
That's right. That's right. And I will not miss that part at all.
Yep. What about you, Andre?
Constantly having to meander our lives around the Army's dates, which are oftentimes quite a few.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Planning around all the different military engagements.
Yep. Just kind of being at their mercy and
Exactly.
not being able to just do what you want to do when you want to do it. Yeah, that will be something to not miss for sure. Is there anything you will miss?
Ooh. I mean, I think, yes, we've been doing this for so long that I think there will be parts of it that we miss. I will miss seeing him in uniform.
Yeah.
I will miss going to establishments and seeing how the community really reaches out and they will come up and thank him. Like, there have been little boys that have gone up to him and we'll be at a restaurant eating and they're like, thank you for your service, sir. And it's just like, he's real life G.I. Joe, right?
Yes.
And I'll miss that because that's always really precious. And
yeah, that's super cute. What about you?
I miss the camaraderie.
Okay.
I've made some good friends over the years.
Yep.
And leaving here in Wichita, where I'm stationed right now, it's a good group of guys and gals that I work with. So I'll miss them.
Yeah. Do you have plans to stay in touch with people and things like that? Or is it kind of like once you move on, that might kind of dwindle?
Yeah, we'll see what happens. There'll be a few people that I make an effort to reach out and stay in contact with.
Yeah.
And then there'll be others that you see them when you see them.
Yeah.
If you do.
Yep. Okay.
And the power of social media, too. Exactly. I mean, I probably... I do social media for this entire family.
Yes.
This is true.
But he comes in on it every now and then. I'll be like, hey, I got some messages. I want to check them out.
Right.
I have some catching up to do.
Yes.
Always.
I mean, that makes sense. Priorities, right?
Right.
All right, so for segment 2, we're going to dive into some fun stats and military highlights. So one thing that I wanted to ask was, how many states have you guys lived in?
Well, I came in a little over halfway through.
Okay.
So we're both going to have a lot of different answers, I think, for the next series of questions here. So with me coming in on it, I've lived in 4 different states.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on around about 11.
11. Okay, awesome. Do either of you, this is kind of a spur of the moment question, do either of you have a favorite place that you have lived?
I mean, aside from coming here,
yeah,
my favorite was Indianapolis area.
Okay. Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, okay. And Indy is going up against my Thunder right now.
Yep.
We're tied.
Yeah.
We're going to win. Indy's going to win it.
I don't know about that, Amy. I don't know. Are we still going to be friends?
No. Go Pacers.
Go Thunder. Okay, so then how many houses have you guys moved in and out of?
7 for me, 4 for the kids, and...
I have no idea. I've lost track.
Too many to count for Andre. So deployments, this is a big one. So how many deployments, I guess, separately and together?
6 for me.
6 for you, okay.
And I've been part of 2.
You've been part of 2 of them, okay. How long were they whenever you were part of them, Annie? Do you remember?
12 months.
Mm-hmm.
Both.
Okay.
Yeah.
So both, he was gone for a year. Yep. And that's where your amazing deployment wall comes in that we've shared about. So that's really cool. Love that you did that. How long have you guys been separated, like living apart during this time?
Well, we've been together for 14-ish years, and I would say over half we've been apart.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I know you and I had touched on this before, and in one of our other episodes when we were getting to know you and your history, and that always just shocks me. Yeah. And so
I would say 8.5, maybe 9 years we've not lived together.
Yeah, so you guys are just like used to being apart.
Unfortunately, yes.
Which is crazy. So now you're going to come back together. And hopefully you'll still like each other, right?
Right. We might have to buy a separate house.
Yes. A duplex would be a good option. Just be next door neighbors.
I mean, we do pretty well when we are back together. So I think we'll figure it out.
Yes, I think so too. Okay, and then, so we talked about the longest deployment while you guys were together, but have you had a longer one whenever Annie was not in the picture?
Yes, I did. Right before I met Annie.
Okay.
I was coming off my longest deployment.
Oh my goodness. So how long had you been gone?
That was a year and a half.
A year and a half. Okay.
And I was in Saudi for that one.
Okay. Wow. That's incredible.
And I would say while we were together, while they were both about the same amount of time, I would definitely say the deployment that went from 2019 to 2020, that one... we lost his homecoming date. So, yes. I mean, that was crazy.
Yeah, more difficult.
And that one just, everything happened. Yeah. Like, Our son had 2 reactions to peanut allergy. He landed himself in the ICU. There was bombings in Iran there, and then COVID hits.
Yeah.
And it was just absolute pure insanity. What was supposed to be, I mean, they're never basic deployments, but what was supposed to be a quote basic unquote deployment was just absolute sheer chaos the entire time.
Yep.
So that
Which
one
just adds to the stress.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Like everything that they say won't happen just happened during that one. So
And I mean, I can imagine that whole losing the date of when he was going to come home.
Devastating.
Because of COVID. Yeah, like devastating for you and the kids.
Yeah.
And they were older during that one, right? And
so they understood more.
Yeah.
We had a countdown board going, and then I had to create a count up board.
Yeah.
Because I had to like strip the wall completely. And because now I've got these 2 little kids that are like, well, when is he coming home? And
right.
I'm like, well, I don't know.
Yeah. So I can see how that one was harder of the 2.
Of course.
Yeah. Wow. Andre, what was your most unusual or favorite duty station?
I would have to say Wisconsin was definitely my favorite one.
Okay. Is there a particular reason why you liked it?
Just being surrounded by the outdoors.
Yeah.
Small towns, well, where I was, Fort McCoy.
Okay.
Nearby a little town of maybe 5,000 people or so.
Oh, nice.
Loved it.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
He's famous in a restaurant.
Ooh.
We're actually going to go to that restaurant when we drop Joel off
Are
his
you?
camp, so Joel's going to get to see his picture on the wall.
Oh, that's so exciting. You're going to take pictures, I know.
For sure.
So we will have to share them because that is so cool.
Super cool.
Exactly. So I'll give a shout out to Tony Angelini.
Okay.
He's moved his restaurant from Sparta to Unalaska.
Okay.
Yes.
Very cool.
Yep.
I love that. And I love that you guys are getting to stop there during your trip. And I mean, the fact that, that you loved it because of the outdoors just makes perfect sense. I'm sure it's beautiful there. So very cool. So the most stressful move or the funniest move moment, who has that?
Oh gosh, when we moved from Georgia to Iowa, our HHGs, our household goods, they were lost for 3 weeks.
Oh my gosh.
So we had a place to live. I mean, we stayed with my parents for a few days until we could get the keys to the house that we were renting.
Yeah.
And we get the keys and we have no household goods. And they were gone, like just absolutely lost for 3 weeks. Like nobody could track them. That is why you need to get those like Apple Air trackers. Because if we would have had that, we would have known the location. So our goods went from a truck to a storage box, to another truck, back to storage. Like they were all over the place. And there was a point in time where we were like, are we ever going to get them?
Yeah.
So
I would be in like sheer panic.
Yep.
Wow.
It was pretty awful. I mean, I feel lucky because you hear nightmares about like the truck caught on fire and all of our goods are completely gone. And
yeah.
When we were actually driving, we just got on the road leaving Georgia and we saw a semi on the side of the road that had crashed or it was on its side, and there's just household items everywhere, and I was like, I hope that wasn't our semi.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, all these things start going through your head when they're like, yeah, we don't know where it's at.
Yeah.
So we had to live with my parents for 3 weeks and just live out of these suitcases that had like enough stuff for a week.
Yeah, and just get by.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. What a nightmare.
A nightmare.
Okay.
We got them, though. They came.
You finally got them.
A lot of it was broken.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Did they ever figure out like how it got lost or what? Or it's just like it showed up and that was the end of it?
You just be grateful that you get your things.
Yeah.
There's no figuring out. You just be grateful.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That is incredible. Okay, so let's talk milestone years. So things like, tell us when you got married, when the kids were born, important years for you guys. What are the significant years?
Sure. You want to start?
The year we got married.
What year was that?
2013.
Ooh.
And then the following year, Raina was born. I missed that. Wasn't there for that one.
Okay.
I was on FaceTime for that. And then 2.5 years and change later, 2017, then Joel's born. I get to deliver Joel.
Incredible.
absolutely.
Yeah, our
phenomenal.
doctor was amazing. She heard the story that he wasn't there for the birth of Raina, and
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
just turned and looked at them, and she's like, well, do you want to, like, if there are no complications, do you want to deliver your son? And he was like, yeah, I do.
That is
So I
amazing.
treated like a grad student. And I was
Yeah.
like, I'm a grad student.
Awesome. So you were definitely not one of those dads that was going to like pass out at
No.
the sight of anything or yeah.
Absolutely. not.
He was all in. They told him that he could just be as is. No, he did the full Monty. He suited up. He
Yeah.
got his gown on. He had, I don't even, did you have like glasses on too or something? It was wild.
Oh,
He
that's
was
amazing.
Dr. Dre.
That's right.
Dr. Dre over here.
I love it. So Joel, who delivered you? Dr. Dre.
Dr.
There
Dre.
you go.
And he'll have no idea what we're talking about.
Right? Not a clue.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Okay, so that is an incredible story. So that takes us into segment 3. We're going to talk about reintegration and life after the Army. So this is big. This is huge. It's a lot of change and adapting. So what are you both most excited about for everyday life when Andre's back home?
I'm excited for just the stability of being a family. I feel like when Andre's gone, I'm used to it, but I also feel like I'm constantly holding my breath, like waiting for the thing to go wrong. Not to be like a pessimist, but it's just inevitable, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know, when things go wrong when he's home, it's so much easier to just be like, okay, we got this, we're a team.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that part. I'm excited for, I think our kids struggle. I know our kids struggle with him going back and forth. And Raina's very vocal about it. Joel is not. He acts out instead. And I don't ever want to give him that excuse of like, oh, it's okay that you act like that because you're dealing with this hard thing. But it's like, it's there. We all know that that's why he's doing that.
Absolutely.
So I feel like his behavior will get better. I think his sleep will get better. So how about you?
Definitely looking forward to not being the missing one in all the pictures.
Yes.
Missing
for
all
sure.
those first time this time that. When the kids talk about different experiences, it's always, oh, when did that happen?
Yeah.
Oh, it's when Mommy took us X, Y, or Z place.
Yeah.
So now it'll be, if I'm missing, it'll be because I had to take Joel somewhere or we had to divide and conquer for some reason.
Right.
It won't be because I'm just not around.
Right. And I'm sure that makes you right now feel a little bit like an outsider sometimes when you come back and there's all this like conversation going on about what's happened while you've been away. And that has to be hard. So that would be so nice.
Well, you can see it in just how I prepare lunch for the kids versus how he prepares lunch for the kids. And I mean, just the other day, Joel was like, oh, Mom, you made this, and that's why you're my favorite. And I'm like, whoa, buddy. It's just, Andre hasn't had that experience of learning the way that the kids like things.
Yeah.
And I do know. And so he's learning all those things, and he will continue to learn those things. And it's just
Yeah.
crazy. Like the things you don't think about when
Yeah.
Mom and Dad are just there together.
Right. But I mean, after all that you've been through and had to adapt to and everything, I'm sure like learning what your children like in their lunches and, the different things of parenting is going to be number one, rewarding and probably way easier than some of the other stuff that you've had to do. So
Exactly. It's going to be quite a change for all of us.
yes.
Because for me, I find something that I like for lunch, and then I just repeat
Yeah.
every single day of the week.
Yeah.
Why bother changing it? It's not going to work for the kids.
No. And it's funny how with kids, they'll be like, this is my favorite. And then all of a sudden you pack that for them and they're like, I hate this.
Right.
Exactly.
It's like, when did that happen? So lots of adjusting, I'm sure.
Lots.
What do you think will be the hardest parts about reintegration as a couple and as a family?
I am definitely the default parent.
Okay.
I mean, we see that even when he's home to visit, the kids will automatically come to me, Mom, can I use my iPad? Mom, can I go to so-and-so's house? And I'm like, your dad is right there. Like the other day I had to leave and I'm like, guys, if you need anything, call dad from your watch or go find dad. And they will still call me and text me, Mom, can I do this?
Yeah.
I just told you your dad is home.
Yeah. Dad is here and he's capable.
Right.
What about you, Andre? What do you think is going to be the hardest part?
Just all of it.
All of it.
All of it. It's just going to be the learning, the relearning.
Yeah.
You know, it's just they have been operating in a particular way, and now here I come. It's not like, oh, that's just here for a long weekend or a few days or a week or so. It's like that is always here now.
Yeah.
So now that's going to be a difference.
Right. The way that the children set the table and I set the table is sometimes a little bit different than how he does it, or he comes home and he wants to do like some fancy origami thing with the napkins and the kids are just like, what are you doing, Dad?
Yeah.
Or he'll tell them, like Joel was setting the table the other day and he's like, put that napkin on the other side. He's like, that's not how we do it, Dad. So it's just little details like that just learning how
everyone's
to
gonna adjust.
get everybody involved.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or how Annie cooks the eggs when I'm not around.
Yes,
I've heard about this.
I don't cook them quite as done. He likes everything well done.
Yeah.
And I leave the eggs just a little, I don't know, gooier than he likes them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. So, funny story about that is that Caden also likes his, not like, so talking scrambled eggs, like not super gooey, but a little bit softer, right? No brown on them for sure. And he calls them hotel eggs because when we would be traveling for martial arts, that's kind of how the eggs are at the hotel. And so that's how he likes them. But my mom and we like them the way Andre does, where they're done.
Right.
Like, we don't want anything raw in that pan.
No.
We don't want any gooey wetness. No, we want it cooked all the way done. And so I always have to like take Caden's eggs out first and then finish cooking ours. Right. And so it's funny that you guys have the same thing going on at your house.
And it's a big deal because Joel loves breakfast burritos. And so that usually rotates on our menu once a week. And so we're going to have to find some happy medium there.
Yep. Just take everybody else's out a little early. Let Andres cook a little longer.
That's right. That's right. The problem is that he always wants like seconds or thirds on his breakfast burritos, and then they're all just like cooked the way Dad likes them.
Oh, yes. So. Yes. That makes sense. Gonna have to like get his portion out early.
Right.
Oh my goodness. Anything, so on that same question, is there anything that you think is going to be hard as a couple? Because we kind of touched on family, but I guess for just the two of you together, do you think that there's going to be something difficult when it comes to reintegration?
Well, I've been doing everything my way the whole time, and I think letting Andre help in his own way is probably, for me, is going to be the hardest part. Like, I just get set in my ways and my routines, and my routine doesn't involve another grown-up.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, for sure. So kind of maybe like letting go of some of the like, oh, it has to be done this way, right. Or, you know, and I'm sure you're not like super overbearing about it, but like we get into our routines and we want things to go the way they've been going. And so it's hard to kind of let go of some of that control. One of the things that I often hear about is like loading the dishwasher, right? Like parents, right. And my mom and I used to fight about this too. Parents will get upset about, or I guess have a sense of control over like, this is the way you load the dishwasher,
sure.
Right? And the kids do it different. And it's like, if they get clean, does it matter? Right?
Well, he loves to wash the dishes and just like let them all air dry. And I have particular ones that I let air dry, but then I'm very much like, okay, now we gotta dry the ones and get them put away. I always tell him that the dish fairy comes along after him and dries and puts the dishes away.
I love the dish fairy.
Yeah, he does. Yes, he does. He loves the laundry fairy, too.
Yeah, one of these days, he's going to get like a resignation notice from the dish fairy. She has fled to someone else's house.
That's right.
No longer lives here. That's awesome. Okay, so how have the kids reacted to the news? I'm sure they're ecstatic. Are they like doing a countdown since you're the queen of countdowns?
Right. Well, we have the countdown board that we're continuing to do for just the chunks of time that he's gone.
Right.
But like usually they're really into do it. Like they fight in the morning over who gets to do it, and now they're just letting me do it because they're just over it. They're like, yeah, it's going down. Dad's coming home. They're kind of nonchalant about it. I think they're really excited, but they just, I don't know. We've been counting down for so long that it's just like, oh, okay, it's coming.
Yeah.
I think it will settle in later. Again, like with Joel going to camp the very next day, I think, and he's gone for a month.
Right.
So I don't think it's really going to hit until like the end of summer when...
Yeah, I was going to say maybe when school starts.
Yeah.
And it's like, Dad's here. He's not leaving again.
Right.
Like, we're in this routine, and he can be here for all these fun things. Like, I wonder if it's going to kind of hit them then.
Yeah, I think that's...
Well, I have noticed that they've been reviewing their albums quite a bit.
Their photo albums that I made for them last... Well, they were supposed to be for Christmas, but they're really heavy, and I didn't want to wrap them, so we gave them to them early.
Yeah.
But they both have been really digging through their photo albums.
Yeah.
And when I put those together, I really tried to be diligent about making sure Dad was in lots of those spaces where photos go.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
That's awesome.
They were just looking at them today.
Yeah. I love that they get those out and look at them. That's amazing. Have you thought about how you'll celebrate when the retirement is official? I know you're having a party.
Yes, we're going to have a retirement party.
Yeah. Anything else?
I don't know. We don't really have like a trip planned or anything. My guess is that we will go on some sort of a trip that year because we can. We don't have to ask permission to do it anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
And we don't have to fill out this big long packet of... She has no idea the size of the packet that you have to fill out to do especially if it's an overseas trip.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And the number of agencies involved, and it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, he basically has to ask permission to do it.
Yeah.
And it can be denied.
Okay. So that kind of takes some of the fun out of the vacation planning.
And depending on where you want to go, like what the clearance level is, and I mean, they can tell you, like, no, it's like your family can go, but you can't.
Wow.
Right.
That's crazy. So yeah, you guys definitely need a trip.
Oh yeah.
Maybe you'll get like a couples trip that year.
Yes.
Without the kids.
That would be amazing.
Just to like celebrate, like, hey, we're real married people now.
Right? Do real married folk things.
Exactly. That's awesome. What are some of the things that you guys are looking forward to doing together as a family once Andre is home?
Hiking together.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure. Traveling together, spending the weekends together, just, I don't know, being
all of it.
Lazy in the house, and all of it, yeah.
Yeah. Just not having that, like, okay, Dad's home, we've got a short amount of time. You know, I know a lot of times it's like get house chores done or, you know, things you need him here for.
Damn to-do list.
Yes. And then he's off again.
And he's off again. We have to get it all in before he leaves. I feel like when he is home, we don't really get to relax because we're so busy getting all of the to-do list done.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's kind of like how I've perceived it, is like,
no.
It's like, yay, he's home, but I don't feel like you guys ever get to just like enjoy him being home.
Right.
So that will be so nice when he's here for good and you can just settle in and enjoy it and get into like your family routines and stuff and just spend time together, quality time, and not busy time.
For sure.
So yeah, that'll be really cool. So I know you've already kind of talked about trips. Are there any big things you want to do besides, I guess, going on a trip? Anything you want to accomplish, like maybe in that first year while you're home or anything like that?
No, nothing's really crossed my mind in that regard.
I know, we just haven't really, I mean, a big bucket list for us is the Galapagos. Yeah. I don't think that will happen in the first year that he's back. I feel like we're gonna need that year to plan it.
Yeah.
Save for it. It's gonna be an expensive one. maybe like some local trips, though. I know we had a ton of fun taking the kids to Omaha, and there were several things there that we did and several more that we would like to do, and just being able to casually plan something like that instead of like, okay, we've got these dates available, we gotta do this and this and this.
Yep.
So
very cool.
And we did promise the kids a while back to take them to all the main Midwest cities, Chicago, Minneapolis, stuff like that.
Okay.
We've hit a couple, but not as many as we'd like.
I guess one trip we do have planned is, so Raina was born in Indiana. She's born in Fishers, Indiana, and a couple of my friends want to walk a half marathon, Ricky and Alex, and so we're going to do that, but it's right during Raina's birthday.
Aww.
And so Raina's going to get to see where she was born, so we do have that trip planned. I kind of forgot about all of that.
That's so exciting.
So
that'll
do
be
that
fun
in November.
Yeah. Very cool. And that'll be great weather.
Oh, yeah. And not coming off of all the hikes that we have planned for the summer, like, that'll just be, what's 12 miles?
Right? Very cool. Is there anything about civilian life that you're nervous about for either of you?
I can't think of anything.
No.
As civilians, it'll be hard to turn my brain off from military life.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for me, no, nothing that I can think of.
Okay.
Because it's not as if I have been away from, civilization.
Right.
Tucked away at Fort whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've been kind of just like living the normal life,
Exactly.
but doing your job.
Right.
So, okay.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense. What advice would you give other couples who are preparing for military retirement and integration?
I'd say start early.
Mm-hmm.
3-4 years out, and have those hard conversations about don't take anything for granted.
Yeah.
Bring it all out into the open.
Yeah. Giving each other grace. I mean, I think we've started talking several years ago about what retirement will look like. I know one of my worries was, we've spent so much time apart. Are we going to be okay together? And I mean, of course, the answer to that is yes. But it's something you think about when you haven't been together, and like, are we still compatible? Like, are we gonna claw each other's eyes out when we're together? Can we get through it? Like, all the normal things that people probably struggle with on a regular basis. I don't know. It's just now we're facing all of that, and I think I know our marriage is strong. It has to be.
Yeah.
And we'll get through it.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, over time, it doesn't matter if you're military, if you're, just regular civilian couple. Everybody grows and changes, and it's just whether you support each other in those changes and growth. Do you grow apart? Do you grow together? And the fact that you guys have gone through this, is, I mean, it's like, could there be anything harder? I don't know.
I don't want to know.
Let's hope not. But like, it's really impressive that you guys are where you are and have been through what you've been through. And, it's like you're going into this whole retirement thing, like in a really good spot. And so I think it's just going to be like getting to kind of know each other in a different way all over again, which should be fun. Yeah. And I love that you do the paired app.
Yes.
Like that's really cool. So like you're already doing things that I think, like if another couple wasn't doing it, then I would recommend those things to them. Like do something like the paired app, make sure communication, is really on point and things like that. But you guys are already on top of that. So
I know. I think, are we still going to keep the paired app once you come back? I don't know. Like, I feel like we have to still keep it.
Yeah.
I mean, that app is created for everyday normal life. I think it's supposed to be like a booster for people who are separated, but I think it's also very much there for just keeping your relationship healthy.
Yeah.
Right.
But that has been a big thing for us. How many years have we been doing that now? At least a couple.
Definitely. I want to say maybe 3 years now.
Yeah. I know I'm so frugal, and he's like, I was like, babe, it's like $89 for the year. And he's like, Annie, that is a date night. And we don't even get to do a lot of date nights. So I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think like the concept of that app is really cool because sometimes a question comes up that you might, I mean, even when you're married for a long time, you might have a hard time verbally going and giving your answer to someone. You know, sometimes there's a little bit of hesitation there. Maybe there's some shame in your answer or something like that. It's like, it's just hard to say this to my person, right? And
it's
so
easier to write it.
Yeah, when you can write it, like that's how I am. I much prefer written communication than having to talk. But I will talk later, but I just want to get the like text over with first.
Right.
Like let's open the can of worms gently through a text and then we can chat.
Right.
So I feel like that's a really great way that app works.
Yes, I agree with that.
And then it can like open up further conversations.
Sure.
So yeah, really love that you guys do that. Okay, so now we are into a super fun segment. Segment 4, we are going to do a couples question game.
Ooh.
So I think you guys are going to both answer these questions like taking turns. You know, Andre can go first one time, Annie can go first another time. So you guys determine that, but I'll ask the questions. And I'm excited to see how differently you all answer or if you have some that are the same. So first question is, who is more likely to cry on retirement day?
Annie.
Yeah, I mean, if my feelings are in tune, yeah, it would be me. He's not going to cry. It takes an act of God to make him cry.
Yeah. And he's relieved, right? Like you said, you're going to be relieved where like, Annie, you have been holding all of the emotions in, right? And you're probably just going to like release them at some point. Maybe not on retirement day.
I think it'll be maybe more the retirement party.
Yes.
Just because we'll be around friends and family and, you know, people will start bringing up the past and all of that. I think that's when it'll probably hit me the most.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, question 2. Who will struggle more with the loss of military structure?
Andre.
I don't think I'll really struggle per se.
Annie is going to struggle with the loss of structure in her home that is determined by her.
Yes, I am going to struggle with that. My type A is going to go on vacation, I guess.
Yes. And then maybe for Andre, it'll be like, oh, like, there's, you know, I don't have, like, the big government as my boss telling me what I have to do and when I have to do it.
I'll be smothered by his Jamaican chill.
Yes, absolutely. All right, question 3. What's one civilian thing your spouse is excited to finally do?
Not have to plan around drill.
There you go.
And all the Army dates.
Yep. What do you think, Andre? Is there anything that Annie hasn't been able to do as a military wife that would be like a civilian wife thing that she would be able to do now? Is there anything you can think of?
Just be able to go on trips, you know, with her girlfriends if she wants to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Have an extra parent that can kind of take over and let you go have some girl time where you don't have to be a mom. Yeah, love that. Okay, very cool. Who will adjust faster to sleeping in the same bed again?
Me.
I sleep in the middle of our bed, so I used to be really good about staying on my side of the bed, and then I was forget it. I'm just sleeping in the middle. Yeah.
So I mean, maybe you guys will be able to keep the same house, but you might have to be one of those couples that has like separate beds in the room. Like Andre has his like cot-sized bed, right? You have your bed where you can just take up the whole middle.
Right. Starfish.
Yeah. Exactly. All right. What is one weird military habit that will be hard to break?
I can't really think of anything that would be hard to break.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't. I'm sure we have like a million. But
it's become so ubiquitous that, you know, you just don't think of it anywhere else.
Yeah, right. Annie, for you, and it's probably not weird, but just like having to constantly be like, oh, what can be in photos? What photo can I post?
Yes, that's a big one. There's a lot of detail. I mean, I think we'll still kind of have to be careful of that, but yeah, we won't have to be as I will still respect other people's privacy, but
Yeah.
I won't have to be as conscious
Mhm.
of where we're taking pictures and
Mhm.
what's being posted, and
Yeah.
even like for the podcast, what's being said, what's not being said, just a little bit more carefree.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Because I know it was like, before we record this, we have to check with Andre and make sure
Yep.
that like all of this is good to go.
Right.
Which is fine, but it's just like that's something that is ingrained in you, right?
Right.
That you just have to do. So, maybe that'll take one little stressor off of you, that you don't have to
Right.
like double check with all those things in the
I'll
future.
still think about it, I'm sure, because it's just so second nature now.
Yeah. Yeah.
There'll be one day where I'm like, oh, I didn't do it. I didn't check on it. Go
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
In like 20 years.
If you had to describe your military marriage in one word, what would it be? Who's going first?
Mistress. That's always like the running joke, but not a joke. Like I knew when I met Andre and married him, like he married the military first, right? And
Yep.
so I've always kind of been the mistress to the military, and it'll be, and not his fault, right? Like
Yeah.
that's just his job. But now I get to be
Numero uno.
numero uno.
You're the main chick, not the side chick.
That's right. That's right.
I love it. Love it. Okay. And Andre, what would you describe? What was the word that you would use to describe your military marriage in one word?
Flexible.
Okay. Yeah.
Flexible. Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, you guys have had to be
Mm-hmm.
in so many ways flexible for this career. So very cool. What is one thing you admire most about your spouse after all these years in military life?
Just her ability to see things through, and she has a level of resilience that is unparalleled.
Yeah.
Aww, thank you.
Very true.
I admire, gosh, so much about you. Just the way that you can stay calm when things are absolutely crazy, the way that you can talk me off the ledge, the way you are when disaster strikes. Just, you've seen it all. I mean, coming from a third world country and then going straight into the U.S. Army, all the things about you, I just admire it so much, and I feel so lucky and grateful that I get to be part of that.
Yeah. Yep. You guys are lucky to have him.
Yep.
And he's lucky to have you.
Mhm.
Darn right.
Amazing. So, okay, segment 5, we're going to have a little celebration here.
Woohoo!
We are going to pop some Prosecco so that we can celebrate the end of Geo-baching
Woohoo!
Yeah.
and the end of a military era, and you guys
Right.
getting to live together again. It's going to be exciting. So, we're going to have a drink.
Yes, we are.
And while we are getting the drink ready, final reflection from each of you. One word to describe what this next chapter means to you.
For sure, we are so looking forward to just all of the things that we get to do as
Mhm.
a family. And
Yeah.
it's so surreal, but yeah, I'm shocked I made it through this without crying. Like I haven't, my eyes aren't even watery.
I
didn't
know.
think I would make it. I really didn't.
You did really good.
That all retirement party, it'll all come out. All right,
Yes.
let's cheers.
Cheers to the end of Geo-baching.
Mhm.
Praise be.
Amazing. Well, Andre, thank you so much for your service.
Thank you.
We appreciate you. And Annie, you and the kids, thank you for your service
Thank you.
and sacrifice to let this man go protect everybody and do what he needs to do and be amazing at his job. And everybody appreciates your family and So proud of you guys.
Thank you
for everything you've accomplished, and so excited to celebrate this next chapter with you.
Absolutely. Glad that you get to come with us for that.
Yes. All right. We will be back next week. I'm not sure.
With more chaos.
What with yet.
To command.
But yeah, more chaos to command, and we'll be excited to share. All right, Chaos Crew, that's a wrap for today. If you loved this episode, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your fellow commanders.
Don't forget, we're all in this together. Join the conversation in our Chaos Commanders community on Instagram and Facebook, where we keep it real, raw, and ridiculously fun.
Remember, our fears establish the limits of our lives, so go push past them.
And always leave others better than you found them.